Kia ora team, George here from Touch NZ. Now we all enjoy a bit of touch, but without a proper warm-up, the chances of being injured are massively increased. So to keep you on the field and out of the emergency room, Touch NZ have made a short and easy warm-up series for all levels, proven to lower the chance of injury by close to 50%. So head on over to our site and check them out. Play safe, play smart.
Well done team, keep it going. Keep it going. Good work. Yes, good side step. Excellent. Working forward. Well done. Well done team, good. For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, but mahi never stops. Thanks mate. Okay team, come on in, let's go. Let's huddle up. Bring it in guys. Nominate your homegrown hero today. 1, 2, 3, 3!
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
It starts with touch.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.
Tēnā rā koutou katoa e te whānau whānui. Nā mihi nui ki koutou katoa I tēnei rā. Nau mai haere mai ki te Pākaongi I Palmerston North. Ko Maya Williams ahau, ko Peter McIntyre tēnei. And welcome back to our fourth live stream game for day 2 of the 2023 Bunnings Warehouse National Touch Championships. We just had a break for the last round. I want to welcome Peter McIntyre into the commentary box, and what a game to come back to, Pete.
Yeah, privileged to be here again. Very passionate about the men's grade and have the opportunity to call this one with yourself, Maya. So quite excited, you know, like the finalists the last time that we completed, these two teams were in the final. Waikato getting away and taking that. So this should be, as a starting game for the 2023 Nationals, should be a good matchup. You know, they've got Harbour got everything to gain, and Waikato being the reigning champions, they just need to ensure that they hold the mantle.
Yeah, what a great game. We've already had a men's game on the live stream today, and as Reece said, it was like an open men's trial, and this one again is an open men's trial. The thing I like about open men's games, the big games, is you get the big refs too, and as we see there, leading the group, we have Tony Arnell from the Waikato, we have Caleb Downs, and we have our man from the south, Mr. Pilkington himself. So this is going to be a cracker. I want to get an early prediction out of you. I don't want you to sit on the fence. I want you to be able to tell me who you think at the end of this game is going to take home the chocolates.
End of the game, I'd still back Waikato with their experience and their leadership. I look at North Harbour, and they've got a couple of younger guys in there. They've got a new makeup. They're missing a couple of links, so I'm going Waikato at the end of this game.
Here we have the tap off. Number 1 here from Waikato to get us started. Hoiata straight into it. I love the pace. It sort of takes your breath away. You see here, good D from the North Harbour crew. It's the Waikato boys just pull out. Hoiata down. Fake this back door, good D again. Good start to the game there, Pete.
Yeah, I think they went expansive. Ifo picks the ball up, and he's renowned for picking and running. In that instance, I thought he should have released, put it back to their box side. You know, like he did go box side in the end, but I thought it should have been a release there. However, you know, early days, Ifo just finding his feet, you know, making sure they're keeping honest.
You see here, North Harbour just setting up. Again, good set, gave the ball over. Didn't really have much on the end of that attack, but gave it over in the right area. In terms of the styles, will they be different or will they be similar, Pete?
Waikato have come through and have set up a style over years. I think Harbour are a little bit different. They've got a little bit of different attributes there. They've got Tamatoa, very, very quick, and then they've got Nate Rolliston, very, very quick. Lance Davis, got a diving game, so it'll be the interesting thing will be the leadership and how they're connecting their athletes and into the style of play. And as I talk about that, Graham picks up the ball and he gets a double set there. The leaders in this are going to be vital.
Yep, Graham doesn't need any explanation. One of the greatest, longevity put down to his hard work and commitment and sacrifice, as you see him there. Cookie pay, pass back, nothing on. Good D from Harbour. Good set of D in the first set by Harbour, and they look pretty connected here, Pete.
Yeah, they're running some. They're renowned for not collapsing on a nothing. Waikato there run a quickie what we call a quickie lock-in, and then just in saying that, they go to a man onside, go wide, and he gets them on a in and out on a step out. That's Finn, very, very fit and fast Finners. Comes back. Releases big, sort of a lock-in. You think nothing's on. He drops him on his heels and gets him on the outside. So not the flashiest, I would say, but it's points on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing really there for Finn. Definitely one of my favourite players. I love watching Finn and the entrepreneur from up in the North Shore. Good start there, Waikato. First to get on the board. North Harbour wanting to hit back here. Again, like you said, a nothing touch. North Harbour set up there, 32 pick. What do we have there? Reset. Caleb Downs on the spot there, just to reset. Didn't quite see what the reason is for the reset. Here we have North Harbour setting up. Cookie going short side. Oof.
As I said at the start of this, you got Lance there, very renowned quickie diver. He got good feet. He'll go to the line and he'll go low and go early.
Durban Burgess, one of the ones to watch out for, Pete. Seen him a number of times. Superstar. That surname pops up a few times in the touch circles.
Yeah, and he's a hard grafting worker, the Burgess boy. There's a few of them. They're very hard workers, They don't rest on their laurels when it comes to the game. They stay fit and active, and they're always communicating through the line. Interesting, there's a little bit of to and fro, a little bit of table tennis going on here. For open men's game, they've got to get some stable structures in terms of what they're doing here.
You talked a little bit earlier about this being a replay of the 2021 final down in Christchurch. I remember the start of that game. It was the fastest start to an open men's game I'd seen in a long time. Shannon Tomuri got back quickly. I thought he might have been a little bit light on that 7.
Yeah, I thought the 7 was a little bit short. I talked about E4 picking up and having a pick. Well, you'll find Tamatoa on the Harbour side is very, very quick, very renowned for picking off the ground. So, the players on both sides, they have similar attributes. It's going to be how they connect in the end.
And if we go back here for the touch and pass, I actually thought it might go back for the offside, but no, touch and pass there. Caleb Downs calls. Pete, we're having a discussion, and you'll be perfect to answer this question. In terms of the 7 metres, I'm hearing from the refs that they've been coached strongly for it to be 7 metres and no more, not a centimetre less or a centimetre more. And now for me, I always felt it was easier to ref the game when the teams were as far apart, and I felt the teams enjoyed that too. Just from your perspective, being a long-time coach of the open men's.
Yeah, and the whole thing of the trying to be accurate on the 7 metres and no more, it just baffles me. If you keep them apart, you're going to take out the contact. You take out the contact, you're going to find the flow, and the game will open up. It's much easier. When you're trying to get accurate on a number, I find it really, really hard. So I'm all for opening the game up. And when you're trying to be accurate, you find that you'll always come up less than more, and then that's when you get the issues. It's on the less side. We're reading that it's always less.
Region there. Ducked his head through. Short ball, but couldn't quite link up. I think we had a touch and pass there again.
At the moment, they're playing very physical with each other, get to the fifth touch, pick the ball up, play the body and see what happens. It's open men's, they've got to be a little bit sharper than that. I know it's the first game and they're all trying to find their feet as it would be, but we need to ensure that the open men's is a little bit more technical than having a scoop in a running race, which is what it is at the moment.
I thought these two teams' yards not too bad, but the Bay of Plenty, I was really impressed this morning. People, not sure if you had the opportunity to watch that game, and in particular players like Carlos Savage and Shaq Stone just really taking that leadership role in the yards, and they really built everything off the back of that Bay of Plenty. So I wouldn't say one team's got it over the other in that department, but as we see here again, just picking up on the last, not really much opportunity down on the attacking line.
No, and I've talked in this before. If your platform is solid, you'll find your back end, you're going to get more percentage of outcome. You talked about the Bay of Plenty and how well those boys put in the yards. It is exactly that's going to set up exactly what we've just seen here. And I thought their third drive and their fourth drive in terms of what they put on as platform was absolutely exceptional, and we'll see in the replay.
Really glad to see
Daniel comes through.
Get up off that. I seen him getting the old elbow in the buttock and the high part of the leg there. Just seen him there wincing a bit. I was like, no, he's a key player. He's a superstar, and not only is a superstar for me in terms of his talent, but the way he makes touch look. He makes it look so graceful and easy. So really need players like him to be on the field for the whole week, and North Harbour will need him too for the whole week. Yes,
and he is carrying a little bit of a niggle. We had a New Zealand camp last week, and he just got that little niggle in that hamstring in that butt area. So obviously it's all about how we look after him through the tournament, or how they look after him through the tournament.
Is this a feel-out period, Pete, or is this a not wanting to show too much of the cards? Because I am surprised that there probably hasn't been the dynamic attack and the amount of variety in the attack from either of the two teams.
Yeah, I think a bit of both. It's for them, this is game 3, so they're getting their systems down packed. In terms of not showing, what they've got. That's, for me, it's quite interesting when you say something like that, because the basic fundamentals of the game should be shown 24/7, and the speed and prowess of their skill set. We just talk about it here again. They've had 2 really, really dominant back-end drives, and they've come up with money both times. Good drive, gets to the back, looks like he's going to go passive. A little bit of passive defence by the Waikato player there, and he comes on a lateral, wasn't in, wasn't out, and they score. So, the back end kicking out a transition difference at the moment is North Harbour are winning that in its early days.
Waikato here on attack, looks to go under, good touch. Chidin was our try scorer there, number 15 from North Harbour. Got them into 2-1. Waikato want to be bouncing back. We've got Legion in the middle. E4, combination that have been together for many, many years.
Yeah, Effion, his brother, was the one on the ball there, and
Effion, sorry, my bad.
Everyone got it mixed up so much in the last commentary. I just thought I'd tidy that up. Very, very good quickie diver, Effion. Yeah, E4, you'll see him use his feet a lot more. He'll pick and use his feet. Effion wants the ball early, he'll go to ground early. Good to see both brothers in the same team. As a parent who have kids playing, it's it's a highlight when you see your kids playing together. As I said about E4, he really likes to use his feet and engage bodies, and he'll either engage bodies and release or engage bodies and score.
You made a comment earlier about this being the 3rd game today. It's a big task for our open men's crew this weekend, Pete, with 4 games today, 4 games tomorrow, and then obviously having the crossover semis and finals on the last day.
Yeah, and as a coach, part of that is just managing. You got to manage your bodies. You've got to have some sort of recovery system. Our game's got so much more professional in terms of the management and the recovery systems. Straight after the game, they'll get into their post-game recovery, and then they'll go back to wherever their accommodation is. They might do pool recoveries and stretch recoveries, but it's a part of your coaching plan nowadays. And if it's not, well, then obviously you're going to get caught out by the physicality of it.
Willison and Tamudi there, just working their way down. Handing the ball over on the 7, second best option, or second best outcome you're looking for. So we see Hawera lifting up on the wing. Great to see him back. Been out of the game for a little while. I was talking to him at university earlier in the week. He was telling me, trying to get used to all the new defence and stuff. It's killing me. But he's worked really hard, Hawera.
And just talking about university, it's so great to see you back at university, taking of that challenge of learning the reo. There's a lot of people out there that find it so daunting, but congratulations for taking those steps. In terms of this game here, I think Waikato really need to pick up in the intensity of what they're putting in terms of platform. Their back end's quite passive at the moment, which is letting Harbour set a solid foundation defensively, so they just need to be a little bit more intent. The intensity and the intent here just needs to be a little bit better.
So we see Waikato moving into the attack play. Drawn pass, flick on, goes to hand. Great hustle there from the winger from North Harbour. We see now, last touch to come for Waikato. Good set again from North Harbour. Pretty good tee, but I guess at the same time, not really that much threatening attack.
Yeah, and it's good you say that. So whenever we're looking at it as a coach, we've got to be real about what type of defence is happening, but what attack is coming at you at that stage. So they're being very, very realistic about both the defence and the attack. Just at the moment, the game, it's 2-1 to Harbour, and the game's in a sort of neutral place where no one's dominating as such. If we go back to how Harbour got there too, it was from the intent and intensity of those last 2 touches that they put on. So let's see where they go from here.
We have Mita back on the field. If you're on. They should not allow the 2 brothers to be on the field at the same time. Or one of them should wear a pink shirt. Anyway, Mitz going through. Ooh, would have loved to, there he goes. Finn again. Finn can make anything that's average look amazing. Yeah. I thought that pass went a little bit late. Could have thrown it early. However, Finn said just throw it whenever you want. I'll still get it down.
And very interesting again. I wouldn't say it's clean attack as such. Mitz puts on a little bit of a step, gets a latch on their outside shoulders now. A decision or a late decision from Lance, and then they don't hit, so it's all a bitzer. So the team that tidies up their systems and gets a little bit more accurate, are going to walk away with it. I have to say Harbour are looking the better of the 2 at the moment. They're a little bit of a wrong read from that right side with Lance, coming a little bit late and a little bit passive, but at the moment they're looking the better of the 2.
Mani in the middle with Ropati. You see Mani with the ball. Still going to get on the outside of the 3 defender. Back to the middle. Nice drive there. Looking for the hole. 6 again. Probably lucky to get a reset there. Not because it wasn't a reset, just wasn't too much on. The Waikato defender probably bailed them out.
You're looking at the range of attack, and what I mean by the range of attack, Maya, is the distance they're attacking out from the 7 metre. The closer the distance, the less intensity you can put in, unless you're putting in a quickie.
There he is.
And just looking at that in a men's grade, for Danyan to go and do a quickie, and you look, he's taped up, he's got a hammy, and for him to step back and put it down, good on him. But just in terms of defence, not the sharpest defence, not something that we're going, wow. The Huiata got up, he made it. The assisting defender got up as well. There wasn't much comms there. If the range is that they're doing the quickie on the 7, especially at that link, it's a real hard one to defend, and they got 2 up, and then they got the outcome.
3-2 Harbour. Waikato back on attack. Mata just throwing the back foot there for the follow for number 10 from Waikato, Matiariki.
And this is Bobby's first year with his new province. In the past has been a very staunch Aucklander, but due to the fact that he's found love in Waikato, he's moved down, and good on him for playing for Waikato.
All the pretty girls come from Tainui, Pete. I'm glad that Bobby finally realised that.
Totally agree. Yeah. Wahine Tino Atahua from the Waikato.
They might just be wishing all the pretty boys came from there too. Just out of luck. As we have here. Oh, Waikato boys, I thought the North Harbour were in there. So get a turnover. Now they're working their way up. Extra pass there from Mita. Get those yards, get that forward momentum going. See the second touch there, just short of the 10. Over halfway now. Referee Tony R now called the link player offside. It's really good to see. As you said, it's key to keep them apart. We come here to watch the teams, and as many touches as they get down on the attacking scoreline, the better. It's been a bit of a mission for both teams to get there, but a fresh hit here for Waikato. So we see the second touch coming up.
And that's what's so special about our game, Maya. It's so dynamic. You know, it is a very dynamic game. As you see there, number 4, Ramika. Ramika and his brother come out of Kelston boys, and from a young age are very dynamic, and good to see him back playing for Harbour. You know, he's been a part of the game of touch and with Kelston boys for a very long time. There's those feet again. I talked about E4's feet, and then you'll see them, you know, in this tournament, and you're going to see them again. And Ify on there in the support role.
E4 back to his brother. Oh, looking for Finn. I tell you what, if I was in the middle, I'd just throw it to Finn as well. He'd give me an assist.
Yeah, he's been pretty successful, Finn has.
Unfortunately, a bit of inaccuracy there in the yards. Pete, I've always wondered this, and I've probably asked a million people, but New Zealand teams tend to go to the box on the yards almost all the time. There never seems to be a set up through the middle, and then refereeing New Zealand and Australian teams, more often than not the Aussie teams would go up the middle. Reason for that difference?
Well, the reason I go to the box now is to get on fresh players. How we go to the box, however, is I find it's better to isolate the middle. So that means I'll go and get middle, and what that does is isolate your link and wing. When you tend to go straight to the box directly, then you find yourself in trouble due to the fact that they get the opportunity to drop and lift. So it's a coaching, and what you'll see coaching, copycat coaching happening. So if the lead team in our country is going straight to the box, then the likelihood is most of the teams in our country will go straight to the box. But I think we've got to put a little bit more thought. We have a couple of ones where we'll play away from the middle to get the middle, or we'll play from box side to get the middle to tie it up, to then isolate the 1 and 2 so we have more space, so we can search for our target zones and players a little bit better.
Better set here from Nick Harbours. We see Nickel, really good. Daniel on the back end of that. Ropati, couldn't quite finish. That was probably the best set that I've seen from North Harbour. Didn't quite score on it. They have got, what do we got here? Bit of a...
Interesting. I thought he did have a play at that. I thought he did have a little dab at that, and I think the ref thinks what I thought.
See referees having a wānanga.
Yeah, it's good when the ref thinks what I think. I like that.
That must be like the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure it's there.
I'm getting a better connection with the referees, to be honest. A lot of my friends are referees, like you're my friend and you're a referee.
Here we see North Harbour have a chance to creep out to a 2-point lead.
Tamatoa goes to a Geordie and steps back in. I think a release would be the go there. They open up the range a bit. I've been really impressed with Daniel. Daniel's been the difference for me. His platforms that he's put on, and even just his quickie. If he's got a sore hammy, we can't see it because
I reckon
he's going really well. And obviously again there, Daniel initiates it, so he's the controlling middle in there, and he does a really good job. Nate comes in, he comes back, goes short side, it's a man on, gets him on the outside, just kicks out. I don't know which ham he's bung, but whichever is it, and then a little push off there. The mirror was a bit soft, and then that's a big one for Harbour.
Yep, Harbour score right on the half-time buzzer. As we see on our scoreboard, Harbour take a 4-2 lead into the half-time break. We'll catch you on the other side of this break.
Well done, team. Keep it going. Keep going. Good work. Yes, good side step. Excellent. Working forward. Well done, team. Good. For Bunnings Homegrown Heroes, the mahi never stops. Thanks, mate. Okay, team, come on in. Let's go. Let's huddle up. Bring it in, guys. Nominate your home ground hero today. 1, 2, 3, 3.
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
It starts with touch. Kia ora team, George here from Touch NZ. Now we all enjoy a bit of touch, but without a proper warm-up, the chances of being injured are massively increased. So to keep you on the field and out of the emergency room, Touch NZ have made a short and easy warm-up series for all levels, proven to lower the chance of injury by close to 50%. So head on over to our site and check them out. Play safe, play smart.
Tēnā koutou katoa te iwi, and welcome back to the half-time break. As you see the score there, North Harbour leading 4-2 against the Waikato Open men's, the fourth game of our live stream here on day 2 of the 2023 Bunnings Warehouse Touch National Championship. People just talking in half-time, talking about our thoughts on what the two teams need to do, and if you're in the Waikato box, what do you think? I guess it'll probably be Mita, who are having a lot to say with Eugene.
Yeah, well, at this stage, I really think their intensity and their intent has to really pick up. At the moment, their back end is quite passive, and they're going to a static attack, playing man-on-man physical, and that plays right into Harbour's hands. So I think they've just got to be a little bit more physical, coming out of transition to set up that back end, and then lock them in there. They're not. We talk about effort on effort, and that's effort being when you've got the ball, but also defensive effort when you haven't. On the other side, Harbour, I love what Danion's done in that first half. I think they've got a lot more to offer, and there we go. And that just in terms of more to offer, Lance and Nate is very, very quick on that sweep, so he needs to come into play. Lance has got good feet and a good quickie. He'll go to ground early. So it's just a good setup. Again, change up on platform. Toby Snellgrave comes in, sweeps, plays in, checks out. The link bites, and then he passes it off.
Yeah, Rogerson was pretty quiet in the initial stages of that first half, and sort of started to see him get active, and then he scored the last try of that first half. So I really like him on the ball. He's pretty awesome. As we see the backdoor play, Hawera not quite getting there. Pass went to ground. Tough pass for him to get down to. Good set of deep.
Interesting, quite a technical setup there, and they want to go to a passive. And why we call it a passive is the line at the back, the ball's going to beat the link who is already tight to a save position. The thing about this is I think the platform still needs to be accurate on the passive.
Here he is.
And we go to the other side where they've just come hard through the field. They've got back end touches 4 and 5, and Danion, supposed to have a sore hammy, picks up and cleans them short side again, plays the body, kicks out, goes through, gets double sets. In terms of 5-2 at this stage, percentages are starting to work. We've still got plenty of time. It's open men's, but percentages are starting to work for Harbour. If they keep these up, obviously the outcome is going to be, I've got the commentator's curse where I picked Waikato, and they're just going to teach me a lesson, aren't they?
As you would have seen in that shot in the background, the superstar himself, Mr. Michael Kavanagh, diving to catch that ball. Seen that a million times as he's crossed the scoreline, as we see Rogerson setting up here with Davids. Passes it back in. Pati. Good defence, good hustle there.
Yeah, that's way better. They're opening up the range to the 10 metre there. That gives them a bit more of a direct and bit intent. Oh, I really would have backed the release on that once he had them all tied up. play the release and then play the numbers.
We have Robertson, key again, like I said, like him on the ball. David's dropped, Robertson just straight up and bang, there it is. Oh, did he get pulled down? The referee agrees that he did. I don't think we want to see the replay if we're North Harbour, but the try is on the board.
If the ref is blowing the whistle, great. I talk about Nate Rolleston. You don't see him in much of his stuff going to the big long ball, but he has got one. Look at that. It's over the top, the tap back in, sets it up for the follow.
Easy try.
And Ifion is in there. I told you he gets the ground low. Sorry, that wasn't Ifion, that is...
We see here, E4
using his feet again.
Thought the North Harbour defender probably was offside. Unfortunately, I hope that isn't. That's the medical cart. I hope that's going over to pick her up because he's had too many Canuck. I sort of like skipping past those types of tries because obviously there's one of those tries that lingers in both of our memories for different reasons. However, North Harbour, as we see, David's great set here. This is what I really like.
That's good. That second touch, and he's getting. Their intent is really good to get to the box. They control it through transition. Our main man Danion's back on, so let's see what he's going to come up with. He plays that. He's going to. And he gets a repeat set. So his release is just gold at the moment, and good on him.
Yeah, just so smooth. Just really, really nice to watch. I think if you're someone that didn't know touch, but you watch this game, you would see someone like him and instantly know that he's one of the key players. Must have been a forward pass off the ruck here in the dummy half to the first receiver.
Good to see, though, that Nate Rolleston's, stepping up, and you've got Lance there as well.
Waikato dived through the box, but didn't create a disruption at all to the Waikato team. As we see Mittergraham and Willison working their way down. Back to Willison, gets on the outside of the link defender from Harbour, but great hustle from that link defender. Couldn't quite catch that number. And ultimately a good defensive set. And here's the difference for me. See the Harbour intensity on their yards. There's some big touches coming in here. Great touch there from the Waikato team. Just slowed that momentum down. So fourth touch just over halfway. Set back into the middle.
I talked about, isolating and creating a zone. And in that, Harbour's just intent gets them forward, and then they're back in. They just do a quick W in the middle, step back and go to the wing. So just the physicality that Harbour coming off the line with at the moment, Waikato can't cope.
Look at the replay, just a simple 3-3,
yep,
step off the right.
Steps back, save side, collapse defence.
Great catch, great put down there. Couldn't quite see that number, but I think it might be number 3. As the Waikato boys back, hot on attack.
Great lift from Nate Rolleston there. Goes to short side, the opposite, link wing lift, sitting there.
Legion and Jones, Legion and Ifion in the middle.
I write notes before I come on, and I talk, just every player, I just write a little note. Next to Legions, I've put speed off the ground. If they don't put a platform on like Harbour are doing, then that gives the opposition the opportunity to then recover and do that.
What have we got here? It looks like everyone's waiting around for the referee to call something. It seems Harbour
a bit of an intercept, I think they call it.
Giving them a Koha.
Yeah. And Trey gets passed straight into his hands. Be interesting if there was contact in bodies there. Let's have a look at it. So the Harbour's coming out.
Harbour just working their way out. You see a lot of the Harbour boys heading towards the sub box. And just in this pass here, I think we're looking for the inside pass, or it was actually the outside pass, threw it straight into his arms, Davids. And we see there the number 7, Trey for Waikato, crossing for their third, 7-3.
Still a game here. We've still got 12. There's plenty of time. We just got to get some different behaviour.
I think that's the thing, I said that in an earlier game, Pete, while there might be lots of time, it's around the attitude and I guess the threat of the team. And Waikato would have been 2 of those tries will kill you if you're North Harbour in terms of that change in momentum, and they've come from nothing.
Yes, and just a little cheeky check on the outside and the wing going down, is not the flashes. Waikato really need to get some connection here in terms of, Midda's got to step up and go back into his primary role. They've got to start getting a little bit of intent in their attacking roles there, so it's very interesting.
He's another natural looking touch player, Mauri. I really, really like him when he's on the ball. And
he played in the Indigenous game the other week, and I thought he was exceptional with his leadership.
Graham and Tamudi working together there as we see North Harbour bringing away. Not quite the intensity that they had, but probably looking for accuracy. See the second touch, third touch just over halfway. Got the new subs on as they come back to the centre. And we see just slowing it up. Good defence from the Waikato lads. What we got going here? Short ball. Oh, another intercept, second intercept. Mitts, just a year over 30. Finn with the ball, passing it off. Mitts now looking for that sub.
Rachel Davis, referee control, please.
You see here the Waikato boys setting her up in the middle. Legion, what's he got? Sweeper play, all 6 again. Waikato boys would really, really enjoy that. As we have the super sub. I thought I had the super sub coming in yesterday. We had the super sub of all super subs. I like to let the man himself introduce himself. I wish we were in Canterbury, because there is, when we talk about goats of the sport down in Canterbury, here he is here. Welcome in, chap.
Oh, you're too kind there, Maya. This is a great level of touch here, watching these men's open boys now play at the speed. It's probably unprecedented. Although you watch the old videos, you sort of think it is a fast game, but watching this live, it's pretty outstanding skill level, that's for sure.
And how's your team getting on, Scotty?
Not too bad, we're sort of trucking, not too bad. The old 40s, the old legs trying to hold together, and we're tracking pretty well for the semi-finals at this stage.
Wouldn't expect anything less than seeing you. As we see Davids go through with his pace, he reminds me of myself, never. Throws the Hail Mary to the right, now we come back to the left. A little bit of a stutter step.
Yeah, some outstanding free ball touch there. The bloody North Harbour hot on attack. They really got the tails up in this game.
As we see here, David's carrying on. Oh, another set. They must be killers when you D out one of those crazy sets. You get to the last touch, and then there's 6 again.
That's right, the defence here just got to try and soak it up, trying to relieve a bit of that pressure, not rush things. But like I say, North Harbour are really looking pretty hot in this game. The Waikato have a lot of work to do after this one, that's for sure. Although the game's not over yet, that's for sure.
See the setting up here from Flavel in the middle, just bringing the Waikato defence out. I'm sure if that happens again, they'll get a penalty. Nickel in the middle, Flavel and Nickel just working together. Comes out to Ropati. Oh no, that's not Ropati. Flavel, what's he got? Sorry, that was Money.
They're nice tight on D there, the Waikato men's now. They're really putting the squeeze on, but Harbour have looked wide and looked very dangerous out wide, shifting the ball.
Nickel going back to the middle. Mani just going in for a 32 drop. We see there Flavel off the left and the right. Short ball. Nice honesty there from the Waikato player. Great try. Harbour in for another one. 8-3 extends the lead to 5. Take us through the replay of this try here.
Yeah, probably just a wee bit of indecision there in the middles there from Waikato. They probably just needed to be more assertive in what they're doing, between the middles there. Probably lack of communication. They just needed it in the link. Probably, I guess the game has sort of got a bit beyond the links, try to shoot up to take the intercept instead of taking the man, and that's caused the try.
As Waikato tap us off. Look, I know there's a lot of time. In terms of the threats out there, Harbour just seem to be a lot more threatening than the Waikato team, so I guess there's a big change. I think this now for the Waikato team is around getting their structures back in place for moving forward.
Yeah, you probably see in the just a wee bit disjointed at the moment, Waikato. They're not fluent as they usually are. I'm not sure what their reason is. I guess the game is a bit behind them, so maybe a bit of panic mode, but it is early days still in the tournament.
Pete, as you just seen, the 8th try there for the Harbour crew. David's having a lot more of a hand in this second half.
Yeah, and I agree with Grant there. The Waikato team have sort of lost in composure defensively. They're searching for the attack, but defensively, that was a middle step back. Link got caught out of zone, and then now Harbour are back on attack again. They really got to start getting some ascendancy on point defender, some comms and connection middle.
Daniel back on the field. I think the Waikato boys have been let off probably with rolling early a couple of times there, so I'm sure the North Harbour boys have seen that. They're going to try and snag a penalty out of this. So the ball gets back into Daniel's hands with his decoy. That's just, I don't know if you've seen the first half, Scotty, but Daniel's such a beautiful player. He's wrapped his hamstring, I think, as a decoy to make everyone think that he's got a sore leg, but he's the fastest player out there. He's been diving like a...
Yeah. No, they look very fluent on attack, North Harbour. You can see they've got some key guys back who've probably been a bit injured in their club scene, which they double up as Pearl Jam, but they definitely look very dangerous on attack at the moment, that's for sure. Threatening all the time. Really good defence from
Corey there, the number 9 from Waikato, staying nice and connected to the touching middle. As we see again, Mateariki. Daniel, just easy drawn pass, time, space. Pete, what happened there?
33 Peel, they're running the passive down, they come down, 2v1, isolate the wing. So, I think in terms of defence now, the contact's not happening, so Waikato are losing it at the contact. And then it's just a 2v1 on the outside. So when I say they play passive, they play it down the lane. They have a middle running tight, and they'll go passive 2v1 out the back. So it's very commonly run throughout the men's grade, but very nice setup.
Yeah, they really needed that winger to shoot there and take his man, take that link, but he sort of got caught in no man's land. They had bombed them long a few, and I guess he's probably thought in his mind that was coming again.
Scotty, in the corner of my eye there, I see you've got that same, is it a decoy bandage around the hamstring?
Yeah, bandage around the hamstring, ice on the ankle. That's, it's all a decoy, but no, just the age, I think, at the end of the day.
Oh, Scotty, stop it. How many games have you had up till now, Scotty?
I've had 3 out of 4 I've played, so yeah.
Oh, well, see, there's nothing to do with age. That's 3 good games there. You're probably that important. They needed you.
I'd like to think that, but no. The 40s grade's still pretty competitive regardless, how you look in shape.
We've seen a lot of our Masters grades on the live stream yesterday, and I was just super impressed. In fact, I thought all the teams could have played a grade down, that just the skill level and actually the physiques of a lot of them. Great to see people getting in shape. As we see, short ball, just the old look away. Put a bit of salt and pepper on that one. Number 4 there from North Harbour,
with 4 minutes, left to run in this game, and we're still not even halfway through our tournament. Harbour just need a close shop now. All they need to do is complete their sets, lock Waikato into, their own half, and then, the W's theirs. So it's all part and parcel of your tournament prep, having a plan in terms of where you are at and your next goal.
Much better set there from the Waikato lads. Fortunately couldn't get on the back of that with the foot in the ruck, but they get a penalty, so a fresh 6 right down on the attacking line. As we see Legion working in the middle here with Effion, who's going to sweep around the back short side and go straight under, and I love that dive. You probably won't know, Scotty, but I'm part of the Don't Slam Dunk committee, and that's the reason why you slam dunk that, you don't score the try.
Yeah, that's right. You get it down as quick as you can and basically score the try. You don't look a fool and bounce it, that's for sure. But that was a beautiful dive. He actually slides in probably a metre from the line, and it's very difficult for the link to get out to make that touch. It's a really nice dive.
He went with his inside arm, Pete.
Yeah, so when you're that lethal, he always goes to ground early. You watch Effion, and he'll do it 9 times out of 10. The outside arm is better, hence he can pull his body away. But horses for courses, if he gets away with it.
Go for the phase play. Potentially,
I think, the ref might have missed that one, that touch pass, whether he called that player offside, shooting off the line, but looked to be a touch pass for me, but that's a good finish anyway from North Harbour to really extend their lead.
Great call from Pilkington. The Waikato player left before the dummy half was there, so that made that touch nullified. Gets the ball away, and then we see just gets outside in the unselfish play.
Trey had to go to body there. Trey was actually set up why Trey went for ball. If he would have gone for body, he would have been teach to go to body, not to ball, but anyway, and outside body. But anyway, they're a little bit off at the moment, Waikato.
Here we see Shan in the middle, 6 touch, 10-4 to Harbour. We've got 2 minutes to go. The result is a full-gone conclusion. However, now the teams would, as you said before,
I still like the intent, how they're coming to the box, like...
Yeah, it's quite a different setup from the halfway. You probably tend to see North Harbour sweep straight into attack off the tap, whereas Waikato tend to sort of slowly move into it and then set close to the line, and probably is dropping the tempo of the game down a bit, probably sweeping the North Harbour guys on D, to be honest. If they probably up their tempo, see like North Harbour swept through there straight off the tap, and they get the reward.
It's just from end to end, and it's that flow, there's no halt in their momentum. The Waikato team are always backpedaling, and it's a real difference when in the reverse Waikato are on attack, as we see just a nice little dump play in the middle of the field. Quickie gets the ball back, and it's just simple numbers on the outside of the man. And Davids, who's got more speed than he should have for one person, goes in easy for another touchdown with 11-4 for North Harbour.
Yeah, this is certainly a massive wake-up call for Waikato. They're certainly, I know they'll be back. They are still the reigning champions. They've got plenty in their experience in their box and things like that, so they'll definitely come back from this, and they'll be hurting, but they'll be a lot stronger for it.
Just crept into the last minute of the game, as we see Waikato get the fresh set of 6. Pete, they want to finish strong here.
Yeah, but I think it's what you said, Maya. We look at the game, and it's the field's broken up to 3 sections, and I think Harbour have won all 3. Their exit has been good. They've come out hard in transition, and they haven't gone static off back end. And then obviously in the men's game now, that's where it's at. On the other hand, it's like Scotty said with Waikato, they're just the intensity and intent. When they're on the 7, they're just slowing it down and giving Harbour, who are very physical, the opportunity to recover. So interesting. And early days, but well done to North Harbour on 11-4. Very, very well done.
We see them just being professional outfit that they are, just taking the touch. I thought, no. And there we have it. I'm probably going to say it was a surprise in the box in terms of the result that it was, how many North Harbour got up on them, but great work from North Harbour, and as you said, Scotty, Waikato will definitely be back in. It's only game 3 of 8 as we finish off our Open Men's game on our 4th live stream, 11-4 North Harbour.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.